Alright, hello everybody, welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be going over the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores as of Monday, July 1st, 2024. So with the announcement last week of the Sears store at the Weberstown Mall in Stockton, California, we are now down to 10 Sears full-line department stores and 6 Kmart stores. Combine both numbers together and you get approximately 16 non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So we're going to be going over the list of the non-liquidating stores. So we have Kmart Mainland, Continental United States. We have the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. The Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida. Kmart off Mainland, Continental United States. We have the Kmart store in Tuaming, Guam. The Kmart store at Sunny Isles Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands, and the Kmart store at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States, Virgin Islands. Then we get to Sears Mainland. So now there are only 3 full-line Sears stores left in California. So we have the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California, the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California, the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California, the Sears freestanding store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida, the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts, the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas, the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tukwila, Washington State, and the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. And then the only other Sears off mainland continental United States, it's the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And then we get to a liquidating store. This store is expected to shut down Sunday, August 18th, 2024. And it's the Sears store at the Weberstown Mall in Stockton, California. This Sears store is expected to become the concept of Dick's House of Sports. So obviously with Dick's paying Eddie Lampert a sick amount of money for the spot, it automatically triggers a full store closing of this Sears department store. So we're going to get to, we're going to do the map now. So we have the first Kmart store, and it's obviously, the Kmart store just north of the Antonio B. Juan International Airport, and this is the Kmart store in Tuaming, Guam. This has the pharmacy inside the Kmart discount department store is no longer affiliated with Kmart. However, this is one of only, I believe, 2 or 3 Kmarts remaining left that has a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. And again, it's the Kmart store in Tuaming, Guam. Okay, and then as we move along the map here, then we're going to get to the west coast of the United States, and we're going to hit the 2 Sears stores in Washington. The first Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tukwila, Washington State. This is the last Sears store at a Westfield property, and this is also the last Sears store within the greater Seattle metropolitan area. The other one is outside of Seattle, so pretty significant of that. Again, it's the Sears store at the South Center Mall in Tukwila, Washington State. And then we move a little bit northeast of that store, and the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. This was only one of 2 that reopened in 2023, and I believe this reopened due to a lease obligation that they needed to fulfill because they didn't get a tenant inside the spot. Yes, the store closed, but the store reopened. It might end up closing, say, if Dick's wants to do a House of Sport concept in the Union Gap, Washington store. Who knows? Anything is possible at this point, but for the sake of this video, it's the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. Okay, so given that Stockton will be closing in August of 2024, that means there is only one more Sears store left in the greater San Francisco, San Jose, and Sacramento area, the Pacific Northwest of California, and it's the Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. I can't believe this is the last one in the Greater Bay Area of California. That in itself is pretty significant. Stockton, again, will be shutting down Sunday, August 18th, 2024. I'm sure there'll be articles generated by it, but there already is a video up of someone going around the Sears store. SB360 did put up the liquidation signs, and I expect the liquidating store to be posted at some point this week. I know the week is a little bit weird with the holiday being Thursday and Friday, but do expect it to end up on SB360 in the next couple of days. So. Okay, and then we move down the west coast of the United States, and then we get to the greater Los Angeles area, which has the two Sears stores. Obviously, the other one that reopened up. It's the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. Again, one of two remaining Sears stores in the greater Los Angeles area. There was one, but then they reopened this one, I guess, once again. Due to lease obligations, they had no choice but to reopen up the store. I don't know. I don't get the other guy, and I'm not about to discuss it, but obviously, for the sake of this video, it's the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. Then we continue down south, and then we get to the next Sears store, and this is the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. This is the very last not freestanding rather, but one of the last two remaining Sears stores. I believe this is the last remaining Sears store that's not connected to a mall on the West Coast, but it was connected to a mall at one point. So, yeah, again, it's the Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. Okay, and then we get to the Sunbelt region of the United States, and the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall, just south of the El Paso International Airport in El Paso, Texas. They are already starting to downsize this store, so I'm sure closing is not too far off the horizon. The last Sears store within the state of Texas, the only reason I see this Sears store being successful is really Sears Mexico. There's really no other way to sum it up. But again, it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. Then we get to move along here. Then we get to the two Kmart stores, or one of the Kmart stores on the Virgin Islands, because one of the other Kmarts on the United States Virgin Islands, at least this one, closed in 2023. So we have the Kmart store at the, I think this is the Sunny Isles Shopping Center. That's weird. What was the one with the Sears in California again? Sun Valley. That was Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. So this is the Sears store at the Sunny Isles Shopping Center in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. This has a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. I also believe that there's a Kmart pharmacy, but maybe it's just a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. But again, this is the only remaining Kmart left on St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, as the other one closed back in 2023. So this is the last Kmart on the St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. So then we keep moving along here on our little map, and then we get to the St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, which is the only place in the entire world that has two Kmarts within a close distance within any sort of United States area, which is pretty crazy to say in itself. So we have the Kmart store in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center. This is the very last multi-level Kmart in the entire Kmart fleet. The most recent multi-level Kmart to close was in, I think, either 2021 or 2022 in Puerto Rico. So that's a pretty significant that this Kmart is still here. And again, it's the Kmart store at the Lockhart Garden Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. Then we go a little bit east on the St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, and the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. This is the only other remaining Kmart with a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. And this is the very last Kmart to have a Kmart branded pharmacy. This is the very last one, as the Guam one was, the third party came in and bought out the Kmart name. So a Kmart pharmacy at this one is extremely rare, and this is the only Kmart left to have a Kmart pharmacy inside the Kmart discount department store, along with a Little Caesars pizza inside the Kmart discount department store. So again, this is the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. Then we go a little bit west to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is the very last Sears store or Transformco operating store within the United States territory of Puerto Rico. The Kmart store here closed 3 years ago in 2021, I believe. So again, this is the Kmart store at Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then we move a little bit west here, and then we get to Florida. So we have the first store that we're going to hit. It's the Kmart store and the mini Kmart store at that. This is the Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida. The store has been significantly downsized. At Home moved in, and it was redone in March of 2023, and the rest of the building became At Home. Kmart is still operating here, again, due to lease obligation. Once Kmart loses this store, or once they do close or some other tenant moves in, there will be no more presence of Kmart within the state of Florida. So that is pretty significant in itself. Then we get to the Sears store, and this is the last freestanding Sears store in the entire Sears fleet that has never been connected to a mall. This is the Sears store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. There are plans to redevelop this eventually into like condos, which doesn't come as any sort of surprise. Whoop, didn't mean to do that, excuse me. So I wouldn't be shocked if we hear some sort of closing announcement, or I wouldn't be so shocked if this is the next one to go. So again, it's the Sears store at the in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. Then we move up the coast of Florida, and the next... Oh, wait, I'm sorry, that one closed. That's right, there's only 2 Sears stores left in Florida. My apologies, guys. Okay, and then we get to the next store, and then we have the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. And as of 2024, this is now the very last Sears store within the entire state of Florida to be connected to a mall. Again, the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida is near attractions like Universal, SeaWorld, Disney, Legoland, all that type of stuff. So if you're ever in the area, definitely visit the Sears. So again, it's the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. I can't believe I totally forgot that this one ended up closing. The people don't update this map anymore, so. All right, now we make our way up the east coast of the United States. There are no more presence of Sears in New Jersey, and there's 2 remaining Transform operating stores left in the northeast region of the United States. So the last remaining Transform Co. presence in the entire New York City metropolitan area, it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. This, for many years, was known as the Martha Stewart Kmart. She would happen to make appearances in the store, have exclusive sign up for, or people rather giving autographs or, showcasing some of her new merchandise. Again, she has since signed on with other retailers, but the fact and the aspect of this being the Martha Stewart Kmart, she made physical appearances in the store many years ago. So again, it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. And then finally, our last store that we're going to be taking a look at, it's the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. This is the last Transform Co. presence in the New England region of the United States, and the last Sears store in the Northeast, because the Sears at Newport Center closed earlier this year. So this is pretty much it for Sears in the Northeast after this one does close at some point. So again, it's the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. All right, so guys, that is all of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores as of Monday, July 1st, 2024. Again, there'll be a link in the description below to both the list and as well as the map created by Dead & Dying Retail. I want to sincerely thank you guys for watching, and that will be it.